This video and others like it are funded by viewers like you. Thanks for your support. It is December 30th, 2023, and this is a breaking news update about the Stephenson brothers, who have been held in an Ecuadorian prison for approximately 6 years now for a double murder that they did not commit. This is the latest news. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders. And now, the news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders. I'm DC Rob. Let's just get into it. For those who have not been watching me for at least the past year, 6 months, year, maybe year and a half, I covered a story where two gentlemen were arrested and convicted of a double murder on a property that they owned in Ecuador, 125 plot of acre. That's a lot of land. There's a lot to the story, but I'm going to rerun a segment from Revolt TV to get those who are not familiar up to speed. And then I'll give you the breaking news that I have. I just spoke to the dad last night, so I do have news to pass on. So give me 1 second, but check this out.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Welcome to Revolt Black News Weekly. I'm your host, Ebony K. Williams. Black beyond the borders. From James Baldwin in Paris to Maya Angelou in Ghana, Black Americans have long journeyed for a better life across the world. But when leaving the States, not all experiences abroad yield safe and secure treatment. In 2014, John Stephenson left America for his ecotourism dream in Palora, Ecuador. And as those plans became a reality, his older brother, Ronell, joined by his side. But within 3 years, an American dream for two brothers with booming success in a foreign land turned into an Ecuadorian nightmare. Their revolution to gain justice and freedom is tonight's prime story.
What I learned from this experience is, being a Black man, the first question anyone asks me that's Ecuadorian is, where are you from? And I'll say, I'm American. And their response will be like, no, you must be Haitian. There's already a stigma being a Black man traveling.
From Ivy League to incarceration, John, with his brother Ronell at his side, spoke to us about what they say is a wrongful conviction and a 34-year sentence that started with a tainted arrest.
Around 4 or 5 in the morning, our door gets bust in. One set of gentlemen in ski masks with large guns yelling, everybody get on the floor, get on the floor, get on the floor. The prosecutor says, you know why I'm here, you know why I'm here. Tell me why I'm here. I said, I do not understand why you are here on my property. I haven't even seen a warrant. We see 50 or 60 indigenous Shuar that are from the Tawasip community roaming throughout our property, when we later come to find out that they were on the property since 3 in the morning, 2 hours prior to the police arriving to serve the warrant. One of the members of the Tawasip community comes and punches me in the face.
2 dead bodies were buried on the Stephensons' 125-acre property, which they believe members of the indigenous Shuar tribe nefariously planted. But why? The Stephenson brothers not only see their American nationalities as lawful impositions, but their Blackness as overall obstructions.
When we testify on the stand in front of the judges' own words is, what is 2 Black Americans doing here in Ecuador?
I think I visited at least 6 or 7 indigenous communities. When they had festivals, they would invite us. It was a friendly atmosphere. When we would leave, certain people from the community would come back and say to us, like, hey, people are leery of your presence. What is a young Black man doing here? How does he have the capability to own this type of property?
At the very beginning, the case was handed around to several different prosecutors. At the onset, that's a red flag to me.
Attorney Jason Poblet is president of Global Liberty Alliance, an organization committed to combating violations of fundamental rights throughout the world. He's helped Americans out of Iran and Cuba, and he feels what happened with rapper A$AP Rocky in the summer of 2019 needs to happen with the Stephenson brothers.
During the Trump administration, A$AP Rocky had been arrested in Sweden, and President Trump dispatched the special presidential envoy to Sweden. If we're going to do it for A$AP Rocky in Sweden, how can we not do it for John and Ronell, who are in Ecuador, in our own hemisphere, in a place that's a lot more dangerous?
But time is of the essence. First, because of a backlog court docket.
According to Ecuadorian counsel, we're supposed to be given some guidance from the court, at least a decision by the which level of government will take this over. And hopefully we'll have a favorable decision on the petition to revise the sentence, and then allow us to get in there and to argue all the technical issues that were not argued at trial.
Which they claim, if proved timely, DNA evidence would fully exonerate them. But more imminently of concern are the Stephenson brothers' safety in prison.
But last month, 100 people were killed in Ecuadorian prisons. 10 of those people were reportedly beheaded. They had a cellmate recently that had an AK-47, and the cops don't do anything.
While the prison system in this country is atrocious, the most important thing is that Americans are aware of our situation.
And with that, we bring in our panel. Joining us is Ronell and John Stephenson's father, Robert Stephenson, investigative YouTuber who's extensively reported on the Stephenson brothers' story, Rob Christian. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, guys, so you're up to speed for those who hadn't been following the case. And thank you so much for everybody who has checked in like every couple of days, every day or every couple of days. One of you guys or gals checked in to see if there was any news on it. And also for those who don't know, because I don't think it's in this story because I cut it in half. But I have a researcher by the name of O. And this man was a godsend. He has done so much work. No one will ever know. Not the brothers, not the brother's father. Not you guys. The only person that's going to know how much work he put into it is me. And I want to say thank you to O for all the work that you did. For Jason at the Global Liberty Alliance Group, for an attorney like that to step up, for the imam to reach out, for everybody who reached out to their representatives, for everybody who reached out to their own representatives on behalf of the brothers. I want to say thank you. And on behalf of the family, I want to say thank you too. So the breaking news that I have to tell you, I met with the dad. I'm in D.C. For the Christmas holiday. My business is closed. So I'm here visiting with family and friends and got to even hear go-go music last night. But prior to that, I met with the father because remember, they're from Washington, D.C. And that's why I kind of took a hold to this story even more so because I saw myself in them. So anyway, I do have news to share. And the breaking news is these out. They're out. They're freaking out. Both of them are out. I met John last night. I met Roger last night. They surprised me at the restaurant. I didn't know he was going to be there. I was just going to meet with the father. And then I show up and John was there too with his daughter. Man, I can't tell you how overwhelming this is right now and how thankful I am right now. I told you guys I am blessed. And for those who've been watching me for any period of time, I told you if and when they are freed, my life will be worthwhile. Well, my life is worthwhile. And I'm sorry to say this, but I've been holding this secret for a little while. It's been a minute that because things were being finalized and him leaving and actually him getting out of the country. And then Ronell is still not, he's released, but he's still not in the U.S. So then we'll be whole. And hopefully I can come back up and meet with everyone together at the same time. But I did get to speak to him via video chat while I was there at the table with John. This is so incredible. He is free. I'm not going to get into the details right now because there's a lot. There's a lot you don't know. This is definitely a book. This is definitely a movie. If any of you guys have contacts with anybody who writes movies or takes scripts, we need this script written down. This is definitely a book. You have no idea what they've gone through. It is insane. I mean, you have some idea of what they've gone through because we reported on it, but there's a lot of stuff that you don't know, and that in the past year that had to happen for this to happen. It's been incredible, and I want to say props to the dad, because not too many people have a dad who would go through the fire like that. Like we said last night, it's like, I have to give you all praise. And I told John, your dad was just, I mean, he's back and forth all the time, picking up the children, going to court cases, getting documents translated. It's just been a lot. He has been through hell with two of his sons. John is 31 right now. He went in when he was 24. And Ronell is 40. So just do the math. He was 34 when he went in. So this is an incredible story. I'm overwhelmed. And after I heard that story, I just walked around. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I got to hear Go-Go twice last night. I've had Lido's Pizza. I'm here with my cousin, my family, and my partner, Rodney. I am so blessed. I am so blessed, but I am more thankful than anything. I mean, I knew the ride up here, bro, the ride up here was rough. It was hard on the brother. I mean, it took me, almost 2 days. And I had to sleep in the back of the car for 4 hours. It was just rough. When I got here, it was raining. It was on the wrong side of the street. It was just a mess. But I knew if I stayed calm, something good would happen. And I'm always given a present and a gift by the universe. And this is it. John and Ronell Stephenson, and John is also known as Roger. John Roger Stephenson and Ronell Stephenson are free from prison, from both of the different prisons they were in. And here's the kicker. For those who've been watching, knew that when Ronell was rushed out of the prison to go to the hospital because he was in pain. And he told me this last night. He said, Rob, you literally saved my life. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say all that. But he said, no, he said, if you didn't do that last video and connect with the crew of people who were there, the group of expats were there, get you a group of expats, guys, wherever you're living, because that's your support group. And I saw them pop up on a screen, and I was like, holy Moses. It was a bunch of them, and they stepped up. And they're the ones that actually got him out of the prison and took him to the hospital. It was nothing short of an action movie to get him out of that hospital. I mean, I don't know if they jumped in the laundry truck, like you normally see, but it was an experience to get them to the hospital. And then when they got there, they found out his appendix burst or something like that. And like, you need to go to surgery right now. And then when they took his appendix out, I think it was appendix. I don't think it was a kidney. Don't trust me on the organ, but behind that, they found he had cancer. So for those who've been watching me know all this already, but if you didn't know, yes, they found out he had cancer, and he has been fighting it ever since. And he just took a test recently and came back that it's gone. Is this a blessing or what? I mean, thanks again to O. Thanks again to Louise. Thanks again for all of you guys who have reached out on his behalf throughout this. I'm showing a picture of us from dinner last night. It was incredible. It was incredible. You'll hear the entire story because I want to bring them on again, of course, and let them tell you from outside the prison. Last time you heard them speak and saw their faces, they were actually in prison when we did these interviews in another country. And let me tell you something, that prison was like the worst of the worst. That country is just falling apart. The government is in shambles. I mean, judges are getting arrested. It's just a mess. So for them to be fortunate enough to make it through this and to be able to, it was so surreal. When I walked in and saw him, we had a Fridays, a TGI Fridays, and I'm walking in looking for the dad, because no hostess was up front. I'm looking for him, and they're like, I think I know you, and brought me up to the table, and I saw John. I'm like, man, it's just surreal. Oh, blessings. So again, this day, I am so thankful. I am so thankful, and I'm thankful to you again for everybody who wrote those letters, who reached out to your congressmen, who reached out to their congressmen and senators. I looked at some of the letters that I had just sent, and I sent a boatload of them. FOIA requests flying back and forth. And thanks again. The biggest thanks has to go to O for all the work he did. I mean, you don't know. He's plotted out the land and know they couldn't see this from this curve. I mean, it's just been a ride. And it's been about a year and a half to 2 years when John first reached out to me to see if I could be of any assistance because he saw what I had done for the Timothy Reed story and their family because they were getting the news from me instead of from the government, so which should not happen. But what little part we played and I played, I'm so thankful just for the universe to put me in that position to be of some assistance because growing up in DC was rough as a child. And so I could really relate to what they went through. And he found his joy, which was almost the same as me. His joy was to open that business, or open an ecotourism business in Ecuador. And 125 acres of pristine forest. This is serious Amazon right here. I think the dad said the trees are over 400 years old. So I think they were going to pay them not to cut down the trees. And he's like, I'm not cutting the trees down. But they had chickens. They got the pepper. What's the red pepper? Tabasco pepper. They just signed a contract with Tabasco to grow peppers. This was, and for that to happen to them, you need to go back and review the other videos that I put out to hear the entire story from beginning to end and to hear it from their mouths. You need to hear them tell the story from prison. So I'll make sure that there are links at the end of this video where you can go back and watch that. And hopefully I can bring them on sooner than later. I'll be leaving tomorrow, driving home. So I'll be on the road, but hopefully next week I can pin them down to get some time and both, at least I can get them on Zoom. And the dad and Mr. Stephenson, man, props to you, sir. And his name is Robert. All Roberts are good guys. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I am so glad and happy and proud. Sorry to fake you out by being gloomy in the beginning, but I wanted to reveal this as in big a way as I could. And this is just amazing news. Thank you for your support. You guys have a good rest of the holiday and look for me soon. Everybody remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us and have a pleasant day.
Okay, hold on, guys. Right quick. If you need to have things shipped to Colombia, shipped to someone else, or shipped to yourself to Colombia from the United States, make sure you reach out to CaribbeanShipper.com. CaribbeanShipper.com. The contact information is coming next. Join me on social media. I am DC Born Rob Official on Instagram. I am DC Born Rob Official 1 on TikTok. I am DC Born Rob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here.
You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know you're so stupid.
That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.
Thanks for hitting like. You did the right thing by hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. DC Born Rob.
Okay, guys, another day, another trip. I'm getting ready to hit the road. And guess what? One product I'm taking with me. That's right. It's the Epica Travel Adapter. It's going with me wherever I go. You need to do the same.